Hello, it is Monday. I am checking out some fields. I got back late last night from New York City, went to see my sister, and then it turned into a long journey to get home because there were flights canceled all over the East. It turned into, I could do a whole video on that, but I'm not going to. But I'm back now. I'm a little tired if I seem tired, but I am scouting the last 3 fields that we have that haven't been sprayed with fungicide for tar spot, and I am already seeing it. So I think I'm going to probably end up having these fields sprayed as soon as they can get into them. Got a little bit of insect pressure there on that one. Get some of these things to focus. That's some, and where we don't want to see it, where it really causes damage, is when it is on the leaves that the ears are on. So it's not looking bad right now, but we're definitely finding it in the lower leaves for sure. So I feel like the infections are probably only going to get worse from here. Here's the spot right there. Focus. So yeah, probably gonna make that call. Okay, here's an ear. It was very nicely pollinated. I want to see some really intense damage. I believe this is deer damage. Yeesh. This whole little chunk in here. These have a real interesting look to them. So it's 2 ears that are planted super duper close together. See how they're kind of intertwined there. And then we get into here and we have this going on. They're just kind of growing into each other up here at the top. That is interesting. Here's an example of why you really want to have a good stand. You don't want to have a doubles, because right here, 2 plants, they're competing with each other. Neither of them put on an ear. So it's just a waste. Okay, now I am back in our first planted field. These ears are definitely farther along, starting to fire at the bottom a little bit. Now this field was sprayed with fungicide, but we obviously need to keep just monitoring it, seeing how it's doing. You can see the tar spot on those leaves. Okay, let's look at this ear. Now, while I was gone, they got 6/10 of rain, and then they got 1 inch and 6/10, I believe. So we really needed that rain, and I am thrilled that we got it. Ground here is still kind of wet, but just not too much mud on my shoes. So this ear isn't completely filled out to the tip, but overall I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. We'll call this 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 around. Okay, it is Tuesday morning. I have the air riveter thing, rivets, some Zerks, and the poly skid plates for JD. Whenever he gets to work, to start working on that, I am taking one of the semis up to get worked on, and then Colin's gonna drive up, pick me up, take me back home, and then we're gonna help him work on the header. So while we were changing these, we discovered that some of the skid plates are one style and some of them are another style. And the ones I ordered only fit on some of them. So I had to run and get some new skid plates from a different store.
So this one will fit here. This fit there. But then that fits.
I'm currently on a mission to find a crescent wrench. I'm gonna look into all of the tractors. Tractor 1, toolbox. Okay, now for the 8260R. Nothing. Now to the 9330. Just a hammer and some flags. Just gonna double check for some weird reason it's not in there. Nope. Okay, last but not least, just looked up at the electrical building as well. No luck.
I can.
You can see here, these are the 4 rib plates, and these are the 6. We could cut these parts off and make them fit, but then they wouldn't have the rest of this on there. So I got my bread started because I'm gonna make a bread. I'm a bread making person now. I went and I paid my cash rent to 2 of my landlords. It's a husband and a wife for 2 farms. And then this afternoon, I'm going to pay one of my other landlords. All of my cash rents, when I pay them, are kind of spread out throughout the year. And sometimes they get 2 payments, sometimes they get 1 payment. So it's making sure I keep track of who all needs paid and when. And then I always go and I meet with them, talk with them, tell them how the crop's doing, catch up with them. And it's always a good time. And a lot of them either farmed back in the day or their parents farmed. And so they have lots of stories about, you know, how their farms came to be and what farming used to be like versus what it's like now. And it's always it's always a good time. So that's what I'm doing today. Okay, so JD finished up getting all of these replaced. Yesterday I ran over and I got more of the kind of paddles that we needed. Wow, looky there. Looking good. That one doesn't look good. For the most part, they look good. Good morning. It's Thursday. Today we are going to work on the grain bins and I'm going to take my truck in for an oil change. I need to remember to drop that off. Okay, so today we'll be spending some time at the grain setup. I'm going to go over the things that we need to get done, mostly so I can remember them, but share with you too. So first up, we need a bin indicator light. The second, we have 3 bin indicators that indicate how full this bin is. The middle one, not working. Need a new one. I need to pick up tar because we need to reseal some of the bottoms of the bins. As far as pressure spraying, I'd love to pressure spray that. That's lower on the list because it's just for visuals that it has to be a lesser priority. Now, power wash, I need to finish power washing the dryer. I have only started on the other side, and with the ladder I was using, I was simply not totally tall enough. So you can kind of see, well, I don't know. You can kind of see where I've been. You kind of can't really tell from where I'm at. But the other thing is the dryer, we always get it serviced before the season. We need them to look at the bottom burner. JD thinks it is burning hotter than it should be at the lowest temperature setting. So they need to look at that. Okay, now you can really tell on this side that this stuff has not been power washed. So that, and then in the big bin, before we get there, the unloads, those still need to be hooked up. However, we can fill the bins up and then wait to have those installed after there is grain in there, which might happen because, look, there's a crop dusting plane. Squirrel. They have a lot going on, so that project might get pushed a little bit to prioritize the things that have to get done before harvest for them. Also, another thing that we've been looking into, this is our wet bin, and it takes a long time to unload from the wet bin to transfer corn to the dryer. So if we potentially put on a bigger pulley or a bigger motor, rewired some stuff, we could speed that process up because our leg and our drags can handle more corn flowing through, but this is what's slowing things down. Or we could put in a larger auger, but that would cost money, baby. So not really super interested in doing that anytime soon, unless if I win the lottery. If I win the lottery, there's gonna be a lot of changes around here, folks. Okay, other thing is in our big, okay, I think because I'm actually in the bin, that's why my microphone cut out. But basically I just go in here and I tell you that we need to replace that wheel. And there are some spongy areas in the floor that we don't like. I also thought about getting a basketball and throwing it against the sides of these walls because there are a few areas that corn is sticking to the sides. I think that's why I'm making this hand motion right here. But we'll have sound in a minute. Just give it a second. So I think that's all that needs to get done up at the bins. That was very convoluted and probably all over the place. I apologize. Okay, I already put my mics away, but 2 other things I forgot. Number 1, these mats suck. They're hard and bulky to move them. I'd like to think about maybe a different way of going about covering up the pit, like a handle on it or something. I don't know, something that can be ran over by a truck and not get hurt, or like a lighter mat, but if it's a lighter mat, maybe they'll blow away. I don't know. I haven't thought of any great idea yet. The other thing is there's a banging on the drag. So when Custom Ag comes to fix the augers, install the new augers, I want them to check out the banging noise. So that's kind of a lot to remember. Okay, today's the day I'm also attempting to make my first loaf of bread. So I did a little bit forget about needing to get it out to form it and let it sit for 2 hours. I'm hoping can run and get supplies for the bins before I need to throw it in the oven, because I don't want to have Tanner or my dad do it. I want to do it all on my own. I do it all on my own first round, so when it turns out horrible, I'm the only one to blame. Okay, we had this bin floor taken up and fixed because it was weird. Man, I want to say 2 summers ago. And now it's like squishy in here, right where the sump's at, which is concerning. And then over in here, a little bit too. Just not quite the way it should be. Okay, JD got this apart. This is what we need to replace. I'm just doing some scouting this evening. I'm literally only this far into the car, away from the truck. But this field is looking pretty clean. Pretty happy with it. I see just a little bit of foxtail over there, but it's looking good. And there's some healthy looking plants. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Okay, and I flew the drone over our last planted cornfield just to see what's up. Now, we do have 2 little human errors in this field, and then we have a couple drowned out areas just due to the excessive amount of water we had this season. Now, the 2 outside arrows are the edges of the field, but you can see right down the middle, that's where we had to change varieties. So we have kind of 2 different colors going on. And then here's the drowned out area by the woods. It does look like there's some weeds in there, but there's also no crop growing. So I'm not going to worry about having someone go all the way back there just to kill some weeds. And you can see it lays pretty wet. I'm going to go through here. You can see where the sprayer cut some tracks through here, which is totally normal and totally fine since there's no crop there. Now, I did distort the color a little bit just so that we could see a little bit better because the lighting of this video wasn't great, but you can see that there's just a little bit of water seeping out of the woods there. And so here's a different angle of our drowned out spots. They're pretty minimal for what they are, but that one looks bigger from where we're at. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the field. Hello, it is Saturday. So I am working today because yesterday I went and I got my hair done. It was pretty much a whole day endeavor just because blonde highlights take forever. We did the hair trial for my wedding and my hairdresser lives like 1 hour and 40 minutes away. She was my hairdresser for a very long time. She moved away, but I wanted her to do my hair for the wedding. So that was a whole journey, which means I need to catch up on stuff today. Mostly behind the scenes stuff, but we picked up the bin indicator and we picked up the tar that we're gonna tar the bins with. I think that is going to be a next week project if the weather cooperates. So we will see you next week. I'm hoping this video uploads on time. I've been trying to get a different 15-minute video uploaded for 2.5 days now. So don't know why our internet is dilly-dallying, but hopefully this is up tomorrow. If it's taking a long time to upload, I will simply start driving around and finding some better Wi-Fi. So we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for subscribing. Leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know how many weeks you think we are away from harvest, because I'm not really sure.